Have you ever wondered which gangs are the most dangerous in the world today? The ones that operate in the shadows, pulling strings and wreaking havoc across the globe? We're diving deep into the underbelly of the criminal world to expose the top 10 most dangerous gangs that law enforcement agencies around the world are trying to stop. We're talking about the cartels, the mafias, the syndicates, the real deal. Let's get started. First up, we've got MS-13, or Mara Salvatrucha, one of the most brutal and fastest-growing gangs on the planet. These guys originated in the 1980s in Los Angeles, formed by Salvadoran refugees fleeing a brutal civil war. They found solace and protection in numbers, but what started as survival quickly morphed into something far more sinister. MS-13 became notorious for its extreme violence, using machetes, baseball bats, and firearms to instill fear and maintain control. They're involved in everything from drug trafficking and human smuggling to extortion and murder. Their decentralized structure makes it harder for law enforcement to infiltrate and dismantle their network. They've spread throughout North and Central America and even have a presence in Europe and Australia. Truly a global menace. Next, we head down to Mexico, the stomping grounds of the infamous Sinaloa cartel. Under Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, they rose to dominate the global drug trade. They control vast networks of production, transportation, and distribution, moving tons of cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and marijuana across borders. Beyond drugs, they're involved in money laundering, human trafficking, and arms smuggling. Even with El Chapo's capture, the Sinaloa cartel remains a formidable force, adapting to law enforcement pressure and internal power struggles. Their reach is global and their tactics are ruthless. Now let's travel to the land of the rising sun, where organized crime takes on a whole different level of intrigue, the Yakuza. These guys are like the Japanese mafia, with a history dating back centuries. They're deeply ingrained in Japanese society, often operating openly, and even engaging in legitimate businesses. But don't let that fool you, they're still involved in some seriously shady stuff. The Yakuza are known for their strict code of conduct, and their elaborate tattoos, which often cover their entire bodies. Their criminal activities range from drug trafficking and gambling to extortion and loan sharking. It's this complex relationship with Japanese culture that makes them both fascinating and terrifying. From the shadows of the Mexican military emerged one of the most ruthless and feared criminal organizations in the world, Los Zetas. Formed by deserters from the Mexican Army Special Forces, they initially worked for the Gulf Cartel as enforcers. But they quickly realized their own power and branched out on their own, unleashing a wave of violence and brutality. Los Zetas are notorious for their use of extreme violence, often employing beheadings, torture, and mass killings. They're involved in drug trafficking, extortion, human smuggling, and kidnapping. Their military training and access to sophisticated weaponry make them particularly dangerous. Their rise to power is a chilling example of how easily the lines between law enforcement and organized crime can blur. Our journey into gangland takes us to Los Angeles, where the 18th Street Gang emerged. Named after the street it was formed on, it started as kids seeking protection. They were seduced by power and wealth, escalating their criminal activities, involved in drug trafficking, extortion, robbery, and murder. With tens of thousands of members, they expanded across the US and Central America. From the streets of Los Angeles, we now journey to the cold, hard world of the Russian Mafia, also known as the Bratva. This is a criminal network with roots in the Soviet era, born out of the chaos and upheaval of a collapsing empire. The Russian Mafia is involved in a wide range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking, arms smuggling, human trafficking, extortion, and contract killings. They operate with a ruthless efficiency, often using violence and intimidation to get what they want. Their global reach and complex financial schemes make them a formidable force. They're like a shadowy hand, manipulating events from behind the scenes. Our exploration of the world's most dangerous gangs takes us to the Far East, where we delve into the secretive world of the Triads. These are Chinese criminal organizations with a long and complex history, often shrouded in myth and legend. The Triads are involved in a wide range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking, gambling, extortion, loan sharking, and human trafficking. They operate with a hierarchical structure similar to the Italian mafia, with a clear chain of command and loyalty. Their ability to operate under the radar and involvement in legitimate businesses make them particularly dangerous. Their influence extends throughout Asia and beyond, often targeting Chinese communities overseas. Inside the American prison system, the Aryan Brotherhood was born. This white supremacist gang, formed in the 1960s, quickly gained a reputation for brutality and white supremacy. They engage in drug trafficking, extortion, gambling, and murder. Operating with a paramilitary structure, they have a clear chain of command. Their influence extends beyond prison walls. From the confines of prison, we head out onto the open road, where we encounter the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, one of the most recognizable and controversial gangs, known for their Harley-Davidsons, leather jackets, and rebellious attitude. But beneath the Brotherhood lies a darker side, involved in drug trafficking, extortion, and murder. They operate globally with chapters worldwide, known for their strict code of loyalty and willingness to protect their own, often through violence and intimidation, making it difficult for law enforcement to infiltrate. Our final stop takes us to the picturesque country of Italy, where we encounter the Camorra, a criminal organization with roots that run deep into the fabric of Italian society. The Camorra is involved in a wide range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, counterfeiting, illegal gambling, and political corruption. They operate with a loose-knit structure, often based on family ties and territorial control. What makes the Camorra particularly dangerous is their ability to infiltrate legitimate businesses and government institutions. Their influence extends to the highest levels of power, making them a formidable force that's difficult to combat. The Camorra's grip on Italian society is a stark reminder of how organized crime can flourish in the shadows. So there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the dark underbelly of the criminal world. These gangs, with their vast networks, ruthless tactics, and insatiable greed, pose a constant threat to global security and stability. Stay safe and be aware of the world around you. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. That's all for Nifty Narrations.